Let me be blunt, if you think the AI race is about who has the smartest chatbot, you've already lost. You're playing a game that ended in 2024. While the West was busy arguing over whether an AI can feel or write a better poem, China was quietly building a $2.61 trillion infrastructure play. They aren't trying to win on IQ, they're trying to win on inclusion. At the center of this is a model you probably haven't heard of, Ling 2.61T. It represents a shift from AI as a tool to AI as a utility. Today, we're going to look at the numbers most people are getting wrong and why the US might be building a Ferrari for a world that needs a power grid. Let's look at the tech. Ling 2.61T is a 1 trillion parameter model built by Inclusion AI under the Ant Group umbrella. Now, here is your first ruthless correction. Most people see 1 trillion parameters and think it's smarter than GPT. Wrong. In 2026, parameter count is no longer a proxy for intelligence. It's a proxy for capability surface area. Ling is a mixture of experts, MOE model. It doesn't use all trillion parameters at once. That would be a waste of electricity. It activates small, specialized subbrains for specific tasks. Ling isn't built to pass the bar exam or write your screenplay. It's optimized for machine-to-machine interaction. It is designed to be the fast-thinking layer of the global economy. It's not optimized for conversation, it's optimized for execution. Where does the $2.61 trillion number come from? It's not a valuation of a company, it's a modeled outcome. In the West, we have a SaaS mindset. We think, I built a smart model, now I will charge you $20 a month to use it. That is a margin-heavy, volume-light strategy. China is using the Inclusion AI framework. Their goal is to make the cost of a token so infinitesimally small that AI becomes the invisible fabric of every transaction. Think about it. 1. Every payment you make. 2. Every logistics route a truck takes. 3. Every automated contract signed. If you touch 2% of the global $100 trillion economy through your token pipes, you aren't just a software company. You're the infrastructure of the world. That is the $2.61 trillion play. They aren't selling the water, they're building the pipes. Here is the number that should keep you up at night. 140 trillion tokens per day. That is the scale the Chinese ecosystem is targeting. You cannot reach that scale if humans are the primary users. Humans are slow. Humans sleep. Ruthless. Correction. Number 2. If you think AI is user types, AI responds, you're missing 90% of the value. The real game is agent to agent. When you ask an AI to plan a business trip, it should trigger 50 different agents. One for flights, one for visa verification, one for calendar syncing, one for expense reporting. That generates thousands of tokens in seconds. China is building Ling to be the language these agents speak. If they own the language of the agents, they own the economy of the future. So, who is winning? The US is currently winning on premium intelligence. We build the most sophisticated brains. If you need a breakthrough in medicine or a complex legal strategy, you use a US model. But China is winning on system integration. They are building the nervous system. The risk for the US. If AI becomes a commodity, like electricity or internet bandwidth, then the smartest model doesn't win. The most available model wins. If China makes AI free and integrates it into every factory in Southeast Asia and every bank in the Middle East, the US becomes an island of elite AI in a sea of inclusion AI. Here's your final mental model. The $261 trillion narrative exists because we are shifting from the app era to the infrastructure era. The weakness in China's plan? Commoditization. If they make tokens too cheap, they might destroy their own profit margins. The weakness in the US plan? Isolation. If our AI is too expensive or too high-end, the rest of the world will just use the good enough infrastructure provided by Ling. So, stop asking which AI is smarter. Start asking which AI is everywhere. Because in the history of technology, the system that scales the most always beats the system that thinks the most. If you want to understand the infrastructure of the future without the hype, hit subscribe. We're just getting started.